way, scoop, and head that way. All right, so we're here. Last couple weeks we've been starting out in side control. We're subs, sweeps, transitions, all sorts of fun stuff here. Now we're gonna work into north-south, work some of the basics attacks from there, guys. North-south is transitional. If you spend longer than 30 or 45 seconds in north-south position, you're messing around too much. We gotta move on from that. So I don't care if you're here in traditional side control, scissor side control, reverse. I don't care what happens, how you get there. First thing I'm gonna do, I'm going to generally go to north-south from scissor side. All I'm gonna do is step my hips over, and I'm gonna reach my top hand in line with his shoulders under his neck here. And start sliding myself back and walking around. Now, while I'm here, if I trap his arm, great. Not generally what I'm looking for. I prefer a north-south choke without his arm. That is a personal preference. You can't hit it arm in. That's just in my experience, it just tends to have a lot more room for movement. So, we're going to start out with side control. Nice step over, scoop. Now, while I'm sliding back here, I'm rotating his chin to where it's pointing away from my body. I want kind of pointing that way as much as possible, locking his chin kind of in my armpit here. Now, while I'm doing that, I'm giving myself the thumbs up here, locking the shoulder in. Now, if you get into proper position, you can actually hit a north-south choke one hand. Ideally, though, you're going to keep this hand in, grabbing that same fatty part of your palm that we normally grab, and I'm sliding my weight down, putting my head to the opposite side of his head, and squeezing. Alright? It's a real nice choke if you set it up, but guys, realize if you squeeze for a second and it's not there, 99% of the time you just don't have it in. It's not one of those chokes that takes forever and a half to set it. It's either in or it's not most of the time. Questions on that initial breakdown? So when I'm here, if I start stepping over this way, and Agnew doesn't escape this hand out trying to block with me and turn in, something's going wrong on his end. Most of the time, they're going to escape this for you. Because if I'm here and I step around Agnew's head, he's not going to like having that hand trapped. He's going to be trying to frame and do stuff over here. That's why I'm looking here to lock that in. Most of the time, they're going to get it out of the way for you. You're not going to have to worry about getting it. Any other questions on that? Yes. So if I have his head in my left armpit, I'm working my head to my right side. Yes. So if I'm here and I have him here, I'm working my head cross body here. Almost going like head in the armpit or head, if his arms up like this, head next to his shoulders. Down. Now, if you lock this up and you're like, and nothing's happening, a couple ways to adjust this. One of my favorite, you'll always hear me call it the unicorn horn adjustment, is where I put my forehead through his chest. I use that position or that motion a lot of times. I'll go here, to drive forward, and then suck back. Pops him up just that little bit to help him out. Other thing I like to do, I will reach back and manipulate jaw with my other hand. You can reach back in here now. He's going to be countering and doing things, but sometimes you can reach back in there a little bit, get his jaw where you need it to be. But if you squeeze, 3, 4, 5 seconds and you don't feel that initial kind of panic wiggle, I think you all know what I'm talking about when you lock in a good choke and they kind of squirm. If you don't feel that initially, start making some small adjustments. Don't just burn your arms out to burn them up. Questions on north-south choke? We'll walk through it one more time. Grips. Shiny palm grip. Pulling up. Circling that way. I'm scrolling and kind of rotating down. So it's not so much that you're rotating around him, it's that you're rotating back at kind of that awkward 45. questions, guys, before I'm walking through one more time? Alright, I'm here. You can see it? No. Boom, I'm here. I scoot over. Start walking back. As I'm here, I'm going to start adjusting that. Getting in position. Lock in. Questions, comments, or concerns? Yeah, I mean, you can set a little grip there if you want to reach through and grab something. Not always as necessary. Generally, I'm going to hit it one-handed because this hand's occupied doing something else. So most days, Gavin doesn't suck at jiu-jitsu, right? He's rotating my hand. So if I'm here, Gavin starts to counter like Gavin knows how. Generally, if I'm hitting this one-handed, it's because I have to. He's doing things to address what I'm up to, but this hand has to be doing other things. Like hand, one hand. Not intentionally trying to hit this one hand. The only time I'm hitting this one hand is if, shit, I get this locked in and here. Over the top of the stage, there's a lot of things you have on here. Any other questions? Yeah, you're just basically crunching them in, dropping that weight down. Anything else, guys? All good questions. Alright, one. Mainly because if you miss the north-south choke on the sit-through, you can still hit this one pretty effectively. So let's say I'm going with Agnew, and I go to come here, and for whatever reason, I just can't seem to get this choke where I want it, right? I try my adjustments, and it's just not there. It's gonna happen. And some dudes are really hard to hit. I'm really hard to hit in an arm triangle. Some dudes just can't get without choke. So all I'm gonna do while I'm here, I'm just gonna open the collar up, feed it to my hand. Where my thumb's inside, my knuckles are kind of on his shoulder. Alright? Gonna be kind of this way, I will rotate him around. Alright, so as I'm here, all I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to reach up mid-collar. And I'm going to use that to feed myself down. Lifting my shoulder up just that little bit, once my wrist hits it. So now you're here, 4 fingers in. Basically, it's a reverse cross-collar choke. So you're here, you're going to roll this bottom hand up, roll the top hand down, keep hitting that choke. Pulling those hands up, get back. So, I'm here with Agnew, and I start to try to choke them, things aren't working. I open that collar up, feed it to my hand. Then I'm going to reach up here and start messing with the collar or his belt to kind of distract. Boom. Now I have this here. Nice and nasty one. Dropping that elbow down and back into you while sprawling back. Same motion as your cross collar choke. Your hands just feel awkward because they're upside down. If you're on the wrong side of them, you feel bad. Questions on this? You can like try to like paper cutter through there and stuff, but realistically not going to be super effective. Like a lot of people will show that like reverse Ezekiel, where like you will reach under, grab your hand, and then like fist to the front. I've never seen that work on anyone who's ever done jiu-jitsu. If anyone has ever like rolled for more than 7 minutes, it doesn't feel like it. You just don't have the control. Yeah, so like a lot of people will come here and they'll show like a reverse Ezekiel. And here's the problem you run into. You don't have a good enough grip control and he'll roll his head this way. So as I'm here, he starts to roll and he poses away from me. Where when I have collar grips, this hand keeps his shoulder down, this hand keeps his neck where I need it. Now if Gavin goes to roll or do anything, it's actually a variation. Most of you guys have seen the gunslinger choke, right? Yeah, you can do the gunslinger out of this, and that's what we're going to work next. Alright? Questions on this? Yeah, so still that same, I'm sprawling back, and not straight back, backing out of 45. You still want those angles. Getting that choke, crawling your weight back in it. You'll feel, partners, you're going to feel a crushing sensation on your Adam's apple. That means they're doing it right, sucks this up. Questions? If your partner is pajama free, just keep working on your north-south, or if you're in a group of 3, just rotate to wherever you get some try. Alright? Look! Alright, so I'm here. I'm down with Gavin. And this next one's basically the same choke. It's just with that extra flair of fuck you. You just have to have it. So, I'm here. I sit out, right? I grab that same choke, right? So, but instead of just staying here, all we're going to do is post up here. Now, all I'm going to do, roll this wrist forward and drag him while choking. It's called the gunslinger choke because you're dragging your guy out of a gunfight. But, you know, like you're also choking the shit out of him, so you're not being a great friend here. So, when I'm here, same choke, same thing here. All I'm going to do though, my hand that is on top, I'm going to get to the opposite side here. Because if I stay on this side, it's going to be really easy for him to roll into me and counter me. So I want to be over here. As I step up, I'm going to grab. Now, 2 options there. Drag him the appropriate distance till he taps. Or option 2, you pop him up, you start dragging him into a back kick. It's going to be more of a dealer's choice which one you want. Appreciate it, buddy. Don't hurt me later. No. But drag, and either pop him up and take the back if the choke's not working, or just continue dragging him to the ends of the Can you drag, probably. Remember, in life, you need more enemies. Do shit like that. You create more enemies in life. So, generally, you're already have gotten your pass points. You're only going to get back points if you take the back there. There's not north-south points generally. I say that as a broad statement. The occasional tournament will give an advantage for north-south, and the occasional tournament will give 2. But that is the exception, not the rule. But if you're at a tournament that gives advantages and you attempt this choke and you drag him for a minute, you get an advantage most likely. And if your ref's really cool, maybe style it, but that's about it. Any other questions on this same choke? Just step into that far side and helping them up and dragging. Questions, comments, concerns? All right, one more time for the fun of it. So I'm here. I step around. I try my north-south choke. It's not working. Set my grips. I like to hit this when the guy's really swirling with his head, because then I can come here, drag him up, and I will actually push forward. And then take them back. Then I'm here, cross-collar chokes, but yeah, you can still finish it. Not going to be what I go for long-term from the back. I'm going to give that good college try from there, but if he doesn't tap, you're missing something. So let go, take the back, attack something. Yeah, it's easy. A lot of these chokes from north-south have 2 options. In, not. Most of them don't have like a, oh, it's close, you just got to adjust. Either you're good or you're not. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're going to move a little. Here's the thing. You got to realize Gavin's an athlete. I've now sat him up to his butt with this. You know, they're not just going to lay there and let you choke him. Like, realistically, you have about 2-3 seconds. It's in or not, take the back. Break contact with them, you know. But you're not just going to get to stand there for fun. I mean, if I'm bigger than you and I just want to bully you, maybe, but in an actual match for someone equal skill size, unlikely, me and Act compete in the same weight classification. It's not going to happen. Agnew's not going to let me wait. Questions? All right, 1, 2, 3. You're the appropriate size and we're in the right color. All right, so I'm here. I get to north-south, right? And let's just say Gavin doesn't suck at jiu-jitsu. Unfortunately, I had to promote his first belt. He's getting paid ass roll, right? So he doesn't suck. He's not just going to let me hit these easy chokes. He's going to start filming and doing stuff. I don't appreciate that. That's really annoying to me. I like to be able to get what I want. But let's say I just need to transition out of this. I'm tired of being here. The obvious, you can roll back to Cocktail Belly, take down all that stuff available, right? Well, let's say I'm here, and I end up under both of his arms. Great. All I'm going to do is lock my hands and pinch my elbows. I'm going to walk him forward, keeping my hips as low as possible.
Stand up too tall, you get flipped over.
Yep, if you stand up real tall on this, that thing starts happening to you. So, I'm here. I end up under both arms. I'm going to pinch here. Once I'm here, I'm going to walk him forward. And one of the easiest ways to get him propped up, slide your knee under his neck and shoulder. Boom. I'm then going to step up, driving him forward. Now, there is going to be a natural inclination to scoop his neck here. Do not fucking do it. I'm going to reiterate that. The natural motion to scoop his neck right there, not even for a counter save. This is illegal in every tournament setting that all of you will compete in. Do not scoop the neck and sit back here. That is a spine manipulation and you will break his neck. Yeah, it's called you can hear it, execution or slide back, so there's a couple different names for it. At black belt, it's outlawed most of the time. Because black belts are like, hey, I prefer to like walk on Monday, so please don't snap my neck in half. Do not grab his head here. So I'm here. I prop him up. I keep walking him forward. Here, take that back. Back drill. Work the unnecessary things from there. The two big details to work on here. As I'm here. When I scoop his arms up, I'm going to lock my hands, drive them to the center of his chest, and pinch my elbow. This keeps Gavin from being able to like rotate his arms away from me. Because they're not going to like me snapping up his arms like this, right? So Gavin, if you feel comfortable, feels like you're in trouble, but you are. Yeah. Now, the other one is you've got to get him up a little bit before you walk up. Here. If bottom man grabs your head, not a big deal. Don't worry about that. Post your head up. Questions on the back take? Nothing? Drill her out. 1, 2. If you are so inclined to do so. So, you're here. You scoop arms up. You slide this knee up. All we're going to do, step over, in. So, we're here. I'm here. All I'm going to do is walk them up to that knee point. And I like to post my hand on the chest/stomach area and step over. Almost like I'm going to an S-mount. I'm going to use that to lean up, step my other foot over. Now, you have two options, traditional or reverse. Or, if you like enemies, both. Remember guys, in life sometimes you just need one. So I'm here. I hit that same, drag up, pinch. Right here. I walk my knee up. And let's say Gavin's just squirrely enough that I don't feel confident taking the back. Right? All I'm going to do is post up, step around. Make sure when you do that, lean towards his body you will come off towards the head this way. Towards the body, scoop this leg over, fall back. Attack whichever arm seems more appropriate. Exit stage left and beat your children. Questions on that? Blue belts and up, practice that. White belts, take the back. Don't get too fancy on it just yet. Questions? White belts, keep drilling the back, take until you get real fancy on that. Blue belts and up, work that double arm bar attack. 1, 2,